Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you're having a good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, depending on where you're watching us in the world. But I'm your host, Alex Blonsky, and I want to welcome you to this week's New World Interactive live stream. And got a bit of a different stream for you guys this week. Usually our streams are pretty well planned out, and we go through specific topics or have a specific guest on and do an interview or that sort of thing. But this week we're actually going to be relying on a little bit of randomness, a little bit of RNG to decide what we're going to be doing on stream. I'll be going spinning the wheel, and we'll be deciding what we stream, the game modes we're playing, our loadouts, doing weird achievements, whatever anybody wants to suggest in chat. We will add it to the wheel and we will try it. So I hope you guys are having a good afternoon, and I'm just going to show you guys the wheel now. So I think the first decision that I have to make is what we're streaming this week. So I got Day of Infamy, I got Insurgency, and whatever. So let's click it. Looks like we're doing some Day of Infamy. So I am just going to switch over and load up the game. Hope you guys are doing pretty well in chat. Yeah, I'm just going to hide the wheel for 1 second. But yeah, just starting up the game. I had you guys going there for a second. We're not at the point where we're ready to stream the game yet. Still have some funny bugs and that sort of thing. I actually got stuck in a hole during our playtesting, like stuck between a building and like a world element this week, and I had to kill myself. I forgot what the console kill command is inside Sandstorm, so I ended up killing myself by switching teams and then switching back. I know there's probably a better way, but my score screen ended up with 2 extra deaths, so that was a fun bug to deal with. But yeah, we're still hammering it out so that we can show it publicly to you guys soon. Lots of sad faces in the chat. All right, so let's switch over to the stream to load up the wheel and make sure we're capturing the right game. All right, so game modes. Let's go to our server browser first. Do we want to do co-op, or are we doing PvP? PvP it is. All right, so let's see. Invasion, frontline, offensive. And we'll go through a lot of these. We'll probably end up switching back a lot between Insurgency and Day of Infamy today. And so invasion, offensive, frontline. Oh wait, don't want to do frontline. So let's try invasion or offensive. Let's go and spin. Invasion it is. So let's find a server. Not full. Caesar playing. Say under 150. All right. how's everybody doing today in the chat? Let's see. Gotta say, as infuriating it is not to know much about the game, I appreciate and admire the tenacity and NWI team to basically perfect the game before launch. Yeah, it's really important to us to like hammer out the basic gameplay. We've had to make a lot of decisions about game modes, about platforms, and that sort of thing. And like some of those decisions aren't the most popular decisions for some communities that are really looking forward to, let's say, recreating the exact same thing that we've done before. But we think it's important to nail the fundamental experience. We're a small independent developer, and yeah, like nailing that first is probably the best idea, and then expanding to some of these other features and game modes and that sort of thing. Insurgency has more players than Day of Infamy. It is true. It's also been out for 4 years. It's always impressed me how Insurgency actually seems to stay either the same size or grow depending on if there's a sale going on, free weekend, that sort of thing. One thing I did want to mention is that next week is actually the 1-year anniversary of Day of Infamy. So I don't have an option to join army, but I do have options for class. So let's try this. Officer, radioman, rifleman, support, flamethrower. That sounds like a good one. Or engineer or MG. Okay, let's spin that wheel. And hopefully by the time... Alright, we're doing rifleman. Whew. Looks like we're in a rough spot to start, although waves are pretty close. Hell, I just saw him there. Whoa. Oh, he's going back to regroup. I saw some stuff in the chat about price points for Sandstorm. And we haven't got a full price point yet. Obviously, things have changed a little bit since single player was put on hold for the launch. But we hope to be at a competitive place for the game.
Loading, loading.
Alright, we gotta get 2 waves out of them. And I'm just gonna take off the wheel for 2 seconds here.
Reloading!
Oh no. Bad time to reload. Did you see the guy come up right next to me? I gotta play it really passive here, though. Just because we are down at this point. Oh no. So if you guys are looking to what like fire support is in Insurgency Sandstorm, I think you just saw a little bit of the World War II preview of what that looks like. It is scary sometimes. Ears ringing immediately as soon as the first bombs drop. It's up over this side. Slow aim. Alright, let's see what chat's saying. Oh yeah, server info. Just give me 2 seconds here. Yeah, we got put in a tough spot as soon as we ended up joining this game. So we'll play another round here. All right, so we're on the German side. I don't think we'll roll for skins, but I will re-roll the class. Alright, so I'm playing Radio Man. There we go.
Die töten uns!
Whew.
Ich setze eine Nebelwand ein!
Damn it. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I can answer them as we go.
Setzt euch in Bewegung, Kameraden! Beeilung! Flanke rechts! Ich brauche ein Funkgerät! Wer hat eins?
Männer, wir brauchen sofort Nebel! Schnell!
Leitstelle! Hier Gruppenführer! Benötigen eine Nebelwand an dieser Position! Bitte bestätigen!
Woohoo! That was a great grenade by that guy. Let's see. Is there gonna be gore in Sandstorm? Sounds pretty likely. There's been gore in a lot of our games. What that entails in terms of dismemberment and that sort of thing, you have to wait and see. But yeah, we're planning to put in some sort of system for that. Will Sandstorm come with Steam Workshop support for custom maps and such? So we're hoping for workshop support and custom map support for launch, and we'll have to see how much more we can add in terms of like tools for mapping developers and that sort of thing after launch is done.
Leitstelle! Hier Gruppenführer! Könnt ihr eine Rauchschwade an diese Stellung abfeuern? Ende!
dich an Anton!
It's been a while actually since I've been back in Day of Infamy. I've been playing a lot of Sandstorm and a lot of Insurgency lately. Let's see. Do Sandstorm Insurgents speak Arabic? We haven't recorded voice lines for Sandstorm yet, so I haven't had a look at them, so I could not tell you at this point. Female characters, I believe, is something that we're working on. Yeah.
Hauptquartier meldet, wir nehmen Anton ein!
Somebody asked the biggest difference between Source Engine and Source, and for me, that's just like the tools that are available out of the box, and like the amount of like games that are using Unreal at this point. The amount of modern games is crazy. All right, we gotta get on point, guys. Dude, get on point.
Aufpassen!
Wir brauchen sofort Artillerie, verdammt nochmal!
Nebelgranaten raus! Gib mir Deckung!
Alright, I think we're gonna have this captured. Yeah, alright, we're in business.
Führungsstelle meldet, wir haben Anton gesichert!
Whew, we're as hell. Real question I want to know from Lord Quode is, when are you guys announcing the release date? Not the actual date, but when that'll be announced. It'll be sometime between now and when the release date for the game is, I think. It'll be somewhere in that area. So not now, and not the release date, but we'll probably announce the release date before the game releases. Yeah, 2018. We can't go into it yet. I mean, the best indication we can give at this point is
Achtung! Ich werfe eine Granate!
is that we just got through Close Alpha, right? So if you paid attention to development cycles for other games, it kind of gives you like a little bit of a time window, I guess. But that can always change depending on what happens with development. Is there even an officer on my team? Doesn't look like it. Maybe I should spin the wheel again for another class. Okay. There he is. Sneaky. Oy, oy, oy. Will New World be at E3? I believe it's on our docket, but I'm not sure exactly what we're doing there. Whether we'll be showing Sandstorm or just going for meetings. We've done both in the past. Based on my estimation, how much Sandstorm do you think is being completely based on gameplay and content? I think that the core gameplay is in there. It's adding the content to the game at this point, and making sure that we playtest it and bug fix and that sort of thing. So, like I said earlier, there's some stuff that we haven't added yet. Like, you'll see some models and... There we go. There's one. Alright, there's my dude.
Ich denke schon, in Ordnung. Wir sind völlig deckungslos. Setzt eine Nebelwand an diese Stelle. Wir müssen uns bewegen. Jetzt los!
Let's see. When will we see console gameplay, and will it be different? Like heavy aim assist, keep it low, bro, or better not? Oh, we're hoping to let some console people take a look at the game early, but still trying to figure out our future testing plans for console and PC. We just got through closed alpha, and hopefully we can release testing wider in the future as well. Damn it.
Yeah, baby.
Alright, so I'm gonna go back out to main menu at this point. I know it's just around, but we are going to go back to the Day of Infamy and Insurgency choice. Add choice. Alright, let's spin. Alright, and co-op or PvP. Co-op. Okay, so let's refresh. Oh, that one was just full. There we go. Let's see. Dynamic weather. I always find that term weird because the term dynamic weather can mean a lot of things to a lot of different games. Like if you've ever played, I don't know, World of Warcraft, I believe they put dynamic weather based on the weather that it is in your area at a specific time. Which is just a weird system, if you ask me. Proximity chat. Yeah, I think that might be something we want to keep. Okay, so I'm adding some other random elements to the wheel so that we can do some fun stuff in this game. Especially when we're playing bots. it's probably a good idea for us to change it up a little bit. Okay, so I'm not gonna pick a class because it would ruin some of this, some of the wheel here. But spin. So I put 2 modes that I've tried in the past, which is John Wick mode, all pistols, and Snake Squad, which is prone. All right, so let's see if I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this on Snake Squad. Okay, let's go. Wow, somebody's going crazy on the machine gun right now. Alright, I'm regrouping. Watch me go. Alright.
Ich gehe zu Anker.
Damn it. I wish I could fit.
Go, go, go!
Oh no, they're coming flanking from the side. Oh no! Oh god. Oh god, don't do it. I can't come out of prone in snake mode. I'm getting nowhere near this, the top of this kill counter, but... No! From behind! Let's see...
Hey, ich komme!
How is the competitive going to be in-game mode with custom matches ranking? So we're hoping on having like a ladder system with ranking and matchmaking based on your your in-game ranking, that sort of thing. So it'd be kind of cool. Like right now, the competitive scene for Insurgency is like kind of the gym and the DGL and like people setting stuff up via these Discord pickup groups, and it'll be interesting when that changes. Oh God! Look at this. No! Oh God! Ah. Dead man's click. Oh no! Don't hit me, bot. I picked a terrible position. All right. Will Sandstorm feature snake mode? Yeah, well, we can go prone. That's for sure. All right, so let's exit out to main menu, and we're gonna go back here, and we're gonna choose Insurgency or Day of Infamy. And I'll show you guys the wheel again. All right, we're switching over. So we're going into Insurgency. Lots of variety when the streams like this. What's chat saying? Will possible to have track IR support in Unreal. What is track IR support, may I ask? I haven't heard of it. Alright, so let's see. Same thing. PvP or co-op? PvP. Alright, let's see. Game mode. Let's say ambush, firefight, push, skirmish. Let's add those. And push it is. Okay. Change my filters. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this one. Push. Chat says ambush. I don't know. I'm leaving up to fate, dude. Okay, let's see. Push servers are very active today. Will there be skins in Sandstorm like Dave Infamy? We're hoping for character customization. Yep. Haven't responded to me back what track IR is yet, though. Oh, look at your head independent of where your point of aim is. Oh, that's interesting. Never heard of that one. Okay, so let's see. It doesn't look like I'm going to be able to choose my class here. But we can choose gun. RPK, Fall, Galil. Apply. For anybody that's on YouTube, I just did open chat for YouTube. It's my first time streaming to YouTube at the same time, so you have to excuse me. Sorry, guys. Okay, we're picking
Okay, we are taking Bravo.
I reload.
It's been so long since I've actually used the foul in game.
Watch out while I reload.
I'm throwing a smoke grenade. Help me down! Help me! Damn it!
Damn the recoil. Ah.
I'm going to reload.
There's a sniper on the left in the buildings.
Sniper on the left in the buildings. Yeah, lately I've been actually playing a lot of Firefight. Just because we've been trying to get deeper in with our competitive guys and trying to learn more about how that game mode works and the strategy and that sort of thing. You've probably seen some streams lately.
Okay, we are taking Bravo.
Oh god.
Friendly is down.
Okay, okay.
I thought he was dead. He was just prone.
Folks, we're in front of the street in front of B and for the alley. Anybody got any?
Yeah, I got
So I'm moving to the alley.
Help me, I've been hit! Smoke grenade, look out! I'm throwing smoke! I'm throwing it!
Got sight of
We are
me.
taking Bravo! Smoke it!
Why are you shooting me, you dumb motherfucker?
Okay. Getting low on waves.
Okay, we are taking Bravo! Magazine! We are taking Bravo!
From behind.
Now's the time.
Reloading! Okay, here comes a smoke grenade! Hey, I'm loading! We are running out of men! We need to do something!
Need to get on that point at this point. Talking about revival in games and medics. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Like, I think in a lot of games it's probably... It's hard to keep like a balance for resurrecting people, especially games where you have like a respawn.
We almost got it.
We have Bravo. Bravo is ours.
There we go.
Good shit.
Use lots of smoke for Charlie.
Loading!
I'm super bad at this weapon. God damn you, Wheel of Chance.
We're taking Charlie now.
Smoke grenade, look out! Watch my back, I need to load!
Ambushes like chess. Bushes like hungry hippos.
Have to hit them with the 203s. Too much lag.
Yeah, so many people are used to like these autos. I'm just used to like AK-47 and M4 and M4 and that sort of thing. Just from playing so much firefight.
We're taking Charlie now. Enemy defensive view on Charlie.
Oh my god. It's bad.
Here comes a grenade! Stop it! You are shooting your own men!
My bad.
Hey, we need more men.
Clear it. We gotta clear it.
Goddamn computer monitor in the way.
I'm covering the left entrance for the alley.
Good job.
There we go.
Good shit.
That's their cash. We need to destroy it. Oh, push.
Look out! I'm throwing a grenade!
Oh god. I'm down.
Just nade spam and
would be
resupply
easier to
behind
set
B.
up dedicated servers for private games with friends in Sandstorm.
turn
Well,
these
you
back
will
and
be
shit.
able to have matchmaking. There will be custom servers and that sort of thing, so I don't know. I don't know if that makes it easier or worse.
Don't group up right side, guys. They're gonna spam that shit.
Fuck.
Oh no. It's
Game
looking
totally
bad.
fucked me up. It made it look like my teammates were already at D.
If player customization is Sandstorm, will we have different camos, for example? Well, you've seen some different ones in our trailer, so.
He's dead.
I get really confused by the questions, like,
He will be in a second.
do you guys have this brand of camo? I don't know. Like, I don't know that much about camos, to be honest.
That was sheer fucking luck, and we all know it. That was all luck.
Alright, so I'm picking my class. I'm not letting the wheel decide this time, but we will load up M16, L1, A1, Leo, M4, A1. I think that's the... yeah. Alright. So... let's... okay.
We've got hostiles attacking Alpha.
Suck a fat dick.
Hostiles just took Alpha. This is the objective. We're falling back.
I gotta Yo, I need help!
Woohoo!
Bravo is under attack, guys.
Just 1 sec, I'm on.
Okay. He's picked. Seems dangerous here. Ah, team killed.
Fuck, my bad.
Does Sandstorm actually have sandstorms when you're playing? Not so far in Alpha.
Please don't go off into the window.
Sandstorm will feature all the same guns and attachment as Insurgency, correct? No, got a bunch of new guns, bunch of new everything pretty much.
We have hostiles attacking Bravo.
The spawn camp. Have you guys increased the map size for Insurgency Sandstorm? Please, it's the only realistic FPS could have like squad. Yeah, the map size. So some of the maps, depending on the game modes, will be pretty big.
Trouble. We got hostiles in Bravo.
At least bigger than the bigger Sandstorm maps. Or sorry. Hey, what's up?
You got a dude right here.
Oh my god.
Throwing smoke! Frag out! Ah, shit! God damn it!
Okay.
If Bravo's in trouble, we got hostiles
Oh, I
in Bravo.
mean, will I still have access to same guns in Insurgency? All the main guns should still be good. We want to change things up a bit too, so that people play with different shit.
So what is NWI? Why is it so important? Never heard.
It's the company that makes this game that you're playing.
We have hostiles attacking Bravo. Hostiles are with you at Bravo. Watch it.
So what, if I put NWI in front of my name, does that mean I'm also like somebody that works for the company?
No, but if you're live streaming this game to hundreds of people, probably does, especially in game.
I have to reload!
Oh my god. So many grenades coming in here.
Hey, Dan, can you get your mic held there?
We have hostiles attacking Bravo.
Controller support on PC.
Hey Alex, why
yeah.
don't you play in the MAGA server when it's full?
Which server?
MAGA, the best one?
Does that stand for Make America Great Again?
No. But that's what people think it is.
It's a bad choice right now.
Gamers Association. But you'll definitely find the top players in this whole game in there.
For which mode though?
For push.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know. I think the best players might be the firefight players, but I don't know.
Could be.
At least the ones that are playing like scrims and that sort of thing. But I don't know. They're different game modes, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey Willie, what's up?
But I mean, if you're working with the developers and you want some insight or whatever, or you're looking to promote the game, that might be a good idea. Because most of the people playing in there are really fucking good, especially at night.
I need cover to look. Jesus! I'm throwing a frag!
That's not good. Team kill.
Hey, Bravo! Guys.
No level cap for that, but in his opinion, I want to know if the devs want to push for that style
Loading,
or
I need
not.
cover.
We have hostiles attacking Bravo.
Uh-oh, gotta get on Bravo. Hey,
That was
we did it.
bullshit. I was up in the back. I was all
Alright, so we're deciding our next gameplay move.
Yeah, turn it all game.
Let's bring up the wheel again. And we will try... And let's give it a spin. Alright, so back out to DOI. No release date yet for Sandstorm or window. Yeah, I went over it before, but the window is anytime between now and when we release the game is kind of when we're going to announce the date for it. But now between now and the end of the year for when the game is going to come out, so there's your window. Sorry for anybody that's joining or trying to join the same server I'm in, because unfortunately I'm doing the wheel of random decisions today. If you guys have any specific decisions like you want me to make or some choices that you want the wheel to make, I'd be happy to do those. All right. So PvP or co-op. Actually, let's do PvP. PvP, and we will do, let's see, invasion or frontline, I think. Or offensive. Actually, let's do those two. Invasion it is. Let's see. If you want to go all over all the game modes that are inside the game right now, best thing to do is to go to the update that Mikey put out right around the start of the new year. It lists all the game modes inside of the game. I posted into chat for anybody that is watching. Basically, like our what we're looking at for game modes are push, firefight, and capture the base for versus, and then checkpoint, operation, and outpost for co-op. And of course, push and firefight are kind of similar to where they are in Insurgency, trying to provide that same kind of like competitive gameplay. Capture the base is an entirely new game mode. Maps are pretty big. Vehicles are very useful in that mode, especially I find. All right, let's see. So my open slots are rifle, flame, NG, and MG. And we land on engineer. Weapon. Submachine gun. Well, let's go with the submachine gun. I don't actually want the TNT charge. We'll go with this. Although now I'm regretting it, considering that we have to blow up this tower.
Good friggin' work, boys!
Good job.
When do I think it's going to be released? Sometime between now and the end of the year. I can't get more specific than that, just because it's be crazy to get more specific than that yet. Just responding to a random Twitch chat message.
Yeah, didn't support? For me, I had to go into settings.
What is the largest player game mode for multiplayer? Largest in terms of number of players is capture the base or it's capture the base is 16 on 16. And push, I believe, should be 16 on 16 too. Firefight is limited to at least 5v5 for competitive. Will Ambush get added to Day of Infamy? I don't think so. We have a bunch of game modes in there right now. And I believe Intel is even, like, I don't know, it's kind of a similar style of mode, I would say. But I don't think we're looking to port any more modes over. Let's see. Had somebody in the YouTube chat ask why not 50 on 50. It'd be really difficult. Plus, like, I don't know, like, everybody hates getting stuff like spawn camped. Can you imagine, like, fire support and 50 on 50 battles? Like, it's just going to be chaos at some point. Like, it's hard to balance for. It's hard to get in and play and, like, know we're getting shot at. There has to be some sort of level of, like, tactical skill without trying to spam out as much as you possibly can. I enjoy some of the, like, the larger player counts in some of the game modes, especially when I'm playing like a Day of Infamy style game. But it looks like the server's down. Go back in to another one. Let's see. Will Sandstorm have co-op? Co-op versus AI, yes. We're hoping, like, we originally planned like a single player campaign for solo and for co-op, but we had to cancel that for release. So last time, I believe I got put on engineer with, and I chose the submachine gun. So we will play that again, considering I didn't get to play it. Will single player return as paid DLC for free or not at all? We still have to make a decision on single player. I think I'm having a problem with DUI, so I'm gonna exit out and load back up again. And we haven't decided whether or not, like, well, if we do it, if it's gonna be a free update or DLC or that sort of thing. We obviously have been committed for a long time to updating our games with free content updates over time, and like I don't think Sandstorm's going to be exception to that. It's just what we decide to put in. We've talked about a lot of stuff to do post-release in terms of modding, putting on Linux and Mac, whether or not there's additional game modes or weapons or models or that sort of thing. So I think it's going to be, we're going to have to weigh all those things together and see which one ends up giving us the best, well, like the people enjoy the most for the amount of time that we put into it. We always have to make these decisions and weigh them against other things we're working on at the same time. What GPU am I running at the moment? I've got a 1070. Not a 1070 Ti, just a straight 1070. I've got actually an older processor. It's like a 2600K, so I don't know. That's a lot of generations ago, but it's honestly one of the like highest overclocking processors that's been released in the last, I don't know, 10 years. So for stuff like gaming, it's actually ends up being pretty good for me. I think I'll have to upgrade it eventually with something that's more multi-core for streaming and that sort of thing. Considering certain games, when I try to put on and stream, it starts to chug, but it's kind of rough. Streaming, at least, is super taxing on your PC. Anti-cheat, I don't think we're looking at changing anything about our anti-cheat right now. Right now we use BattleEye, and they've been pretty good for us. We haven't heard many reports of cheating in games, and the ones that do get fixed pretty quick by our third party. Take your time, man. It takes a lot of work to make games of your scale, especially from a non-AAA studio like scummy EA. Well, I don't know. It's a different environment, right? Like playing these games and developing for them. When you are a smaller studio, you still get those same expectations that people put on like a AAA game. It's weird. I think I have a bug with my DUI. I think I'm gonna switch over to Insurgency. Okay. So Sandstorm going to be a AAA title? I don't even know what that term is anymore, quite frankly. Like what's a AAA title? Does it have to have like millions and millions of dollars? Does it have to have a Super Bowl commercial? Does it have to have hundreds of developers working on it? Does it have to have a certain graphical quality, be a AAA game? Does it have to be a realistic game? Can it be an animated game? I don't know anymore. Especially when I don't know, a game like Cuphead, which is like an indie game that's developed with 10 people, sells I don't know, it sounded like 1 million copies in his first week. Is that a AAA game? I don't know anymore. The game industry has changed so much that I don't think there are AAA games and indie games. There's a huge crossover between them. Even us, which we have a publisher that doesn't exactly, well, like they're going to end up distributing the game. We still retain like our rights and being an indie and that sort of thing. So it'd be interesting. Okay. Does focus allow you to do what you want with your game, or do you have to strict deadline and stuff? Oh, some of the deadline stuff is imposed by us. I mean, we, as an indie developer, we only have a certain amount of resources, and we have to kind of like stick within like a contained vision of what we want our games to be, not only so that they play well, but so that we can get them out in time for you guys to enjoy. I think that that so far our publisher has been very open in terms of the things they allow us to do, and they helped us with a bunch of stuff like the videos that we've put out. They've put those all together, definitely with the distribution of the game, with promotion, with everything. So. Alright, I'm doing the spin, and we're gonna pick the foul. Alright.
Okay, I'm loading.
Getting wall banged. I gotta switch out my loadout after this life. We are all getting cramped around this building. Will there be unlockable the ability to change cosmetic divisions? So we are planning on some sort of character customization, but can't reveal details about that yet. Oh man, I decided not to equip any grenades.
Changing out magazines.
Okay. I'm gonna move up for a second. Hey, what's up?
They're on Charlie. They're taking Charlie.
Oh no.
You're on Charlie.
Someone got him. Damn it. Got trapped. I know that ambush won't be in Sandstorm, but we'll add it afterwards. What are the chances? I don't know. I think game modes are locked for launch. But we're always open to considering new content to be added to the future, game modes, weapons, all sorts of stuff. So Like, I would say the best way to go through that conversation isn't so much that, like, we want it to keep pressing it, because, I mean, we get that, and we get it a lot, and we're going to get it regardless, but it's how we would evolve that game mode for Sandstorm. What would make it better? What would attract more people? Because right now, it certainly isn't being played as much as like a game mode like Push, and on the competitive scene, it's not getting played like Firefight is, so I don't know. Well, we have to put our resources right now into the things that that a majority of people are playing, but we're always open to putting in new things to the game, and if that's adapting Firefight, or sorry, adapting Ambush to Sandstorm, then so be it. But yeah, like, what I would do is go to the forums and wrap it up in a post. We have like a billion posts about we want ambush in the game, but there's not many talking about what they want out of ambush.
Protect me, I'm reloading!
I want to ask if there's some sort of update or there's something known, because I've been having random sporadic stuttering on DOI since this morning. I haven't been able to add it at all. I started playing a lot over the last 2 weeks, only started now. We haven't put out any updates for the game, not recently, so I'm not sure. It might be something on your end or a bug or that sort of thing, but if you're having problems with any of our games, I would suggest filing a support ticket, support.newworldinteractive.com, either for Insurgency or Day of Infamy, and we'll get on it. Why don't you put Sandstorm in early access? Do we need it in early access? I don't know. Like, it depends. Lots of early access games are to build up money for
Hey, you have enemy in Charlie!
from behind.
We just lost Charlie! This is our last stand, brothers! Defend the cash at all costs! You ain't need no scope.
To use the vault mechanic from Sandstorm, did you see that?
Okay, changing magazine! Currently, I'm reloading.
Cryo's doing work. Let's see. Battle Royale mode in Insurgency. I don't know. Like, Battle Royale modes have to be properly implemented, and they take a long time to get right. It also has to be like a map size thing, a scale thing. It's difficult, and we don't want to be like a Me Too product either. So it's something that we could consider as a future game mode or future game, but right now we're concentrating on getting the Insurgency formula down for Sandstorm. Do we take influence from games like Squad? We take influence from all of the games that we play, like Call of Duty, Battlefield, Squad, Arma, you name it, Counter-Strike. Pretty much everything that we've actually taken some inspiration from. So I'm gonna go off here, and I'm gonna answer some more chat questions before we wrap up the stream. I do want to remind everybody that next week is the 1-year anniversary of Day of Infamy, so we'll have kind of a special stream. I'm probably going to end up moving that stream to Friday at a regular time of noon Eastern, but probably Friday instead of Thursday next week, because the actual anniversary is on Friday, and there'll be hopefully like a lot of special stuff that we'll end up showing you, some retrospective stuff. Got a lot of stuff planned, so definitely stay tuned next Friday for the live stream. I'm going to go into some chat questions. Will there be single fire tap speed caps? I noticed with an auto fire button that the Makarov shoots like a Glock 18. I don't know, like we're constantly adjusting stuff right now inside of the test. Like even stuff is getting added and removed at a constant basis, and balance is always occurring. So right now I'm not even comfortable at like a place where I can tell you for sure what weapon is going to feel like what. Just going to have to see when we end up releasing that in terms of gameplay, or get you guys to have like a hands-on and give it your feedback on it. Play Sandstorm, please. New World. Hopefully we can play some Sandstorm soon. I'm excited to do it. I mean, we've been playing Day of Infamy and Insurgency for a long time now. Day of Infamy coming up on a year, and we just surpassed Insurgency's 4-year anniversary. I think that was about a month ago. So yeah, excited to play some new games. I end up playing Sandstorm a lot, and excited to show you guys. Just want to make sure it's in a state where it's presentable for you guys, so we don't have some weird glitches and bugs and that sort of thing. Just want to make sure that that you guys can see the experience that we're hoping to put out at the end of the day. I'm gonna go check out YouTube chat. Let's see. So Sandstorm is more tactical than more fast-paced like the trailer. So if you watch in the trailer right now, it's right behind me. One of the guys that's actually recorded is he works for a publisher, but he's a former competitive FPS player, and he plays the game in like a more fast-paced way, and it's really good. Like basically the footage in the background is like B-roll footage. But yeah, I mean, you could play the cool thing about Insurgency is you can play it in a lot of different ways. You don't have to be crazy aggressive. You can sit back and snipe if you want. There's a lot of different like gameplay mechanics you can do. So it depends on the game mode, obviously, and you guys know that. I mean, there's a big difference between push and firefight and some of the other game modes that in terms of like how you sit and attack and defend positions, but yeah, we want to provide a variety of gameplay options to the player. I had a blast during the closed alpha for Sandstorm 2. Thanks guys for giving me the pleasure of testing it. Obviously I'm not going to say anything about it still, but I'm very thankful for the opportunity. Yeah, and we're thankful for everybody that came out and tested it, and for those of you that did not get into the closed alpha, there'll be plenty of opportunities to test in the future. We love getting you guys feedback on it. Like getting constructive feedback on stuff that should get changed, or like even people will send docs of like all the stuff that they want to see, or even like it's an examination of a specific map and all the points on the map and what they think should be moved, or who has an advantage or a disadvantage. And it's useful information that we can kind of parse and figure out the best way to balance and test the map and make changes in the future. How destructible are the environments? Right now, we have tested using like kind of the destructibility based system of DOI in game, but we're not looking at like blowing up buildings. I think I mentioned last week I was watching a stream of like Rainbow Six Siege, and like they had some dude just tearing like holes out of the wall, and it's kind of weird, and I don't think it works as well, like especially when we have fire support blowing up everything and we have to keep on reloading the level over and over. Like engine supports certain features and functionality, but I don't know. Destructibility is one that's always been kind of weird for me. I remember playing a lot of games that like sold themselves on specifically destructibility. I forget, it was like a Mars-based shooter, and like you could just like make like a tunnel through the wall. It'd take you like 10 minutes, but like at some point you have to say that, like, I don't know, the map is the map, and knowing the map in specific positions is good too. We want to make sure that like we don't have things that are exploitable, and no matter what, even if you had destructible environments, you're still going to have like certain elements of the map that stay there in order for you to be able to do stuff like capture objectives and that sort of thing. So we're experimenting with it, but we're not going as so far as like you're going to be able to blow up like an entire building. Unlocks and that sort of thing. So we haven't got into like achievements or that sort of thing yet, but I think that like customization and being able to show off is kind of a cool thing for video games, especially for the people that put the time in. There's lots of people that spend thousands of hours inside our game, and we definitely appreciate you guys playing the game. So I think it would be cool for you to have something visual to show that off as well. Dave, Infamy is a great game, but why does it only manage 700 to 800 players a day? It goes in cycles. I mean, it goes in cycles based on sales, especially. All of our games do, where like we'll have a sale, a bunch of people come in, and they'll stay, and then they'll start dropping off again. Sale, they start dropping off again. Every game over time starts dropping off. It's actually weird for a game to keep its players over time or to grow it. We've been really proud of our games like Insurgency and Dave Infamy, where they've shown either like a holding pattern or constant growth over time. The fact that like especially when we have like a weekend sale on Insurgency and there's like 4,000 to 5,000 players in game inside of a Steam sale, it's kind of amazing, and we want to keep that going in the future. So like I said, next week we're going to be talking a lot more about Dave Infamy, and hopefully some more surprises in the future. So so stay tuned next Friday at noon EST. Bullet drop, yep. We do. Unreal Engine does support bullet drop in the game, so you may have to do some shot leading and that sort of thing. Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege had destructibility developed inside of the game in mind. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's cool, all the things you can do when you customize your own engine, but obviously that takes a long time. And for us as an indie game developer, having access to stuff like stuff like Unreal, Stuff like Source, we're doing our original mod on Source, allows us as a game developer to stick to just game design and customization and that sort of thing, rather than like building engines from scratch, which takes a long time. You find that the ones building engines from scratch, they use it across a majority of their games, especially from big name publishers and that sort of thing. So I don't know, maybe one day, but like the engines that we have been working with are really cool and provide us a lot of options. So it's a cool time to be working in game development. How many attachments? I don't have an exact number, but there will be some new attachments and that sort of thing, and some old favorites returning. We'll be able to show those off in the future. How does entering and exiting vehicles work? Is it animated entrance like Battlefield 1, or is it instant entrance exit at the press of the button like Battlefield 4? Right now, it's instant, but it depends on what our animation team ends up doing. I'm not sure actually if they're planning on making an actual like get-in animation, but right now that's you kind of are instantly inside of like a specific seat when you jump in a vehicle. Is there a revive or a medical system in the game? No. Any stream soon where you showcase alpha version with closed alpha testers? Well, right now we only have like our closed alpha test for the public is closed, but we are doing internal testing still. We will at some point be able to stream the game, but not yet. We need to make sure that we are in a polished state so that you guys can see it in its best light. When we edit stuff like this background clips together, obviously we can take out stuff that didn't work, and even then you still see like all these like markers that indicate it's in alpha and that sort of thing. So we want to make sure that we're presenting the game in the best way possible when we actually do go on stream, but I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully it's pretty soon. Let's see, just looking at other questions. Are night maps coming back? We haven't shown off any night maps, but it's an interesting idea, especially when you have like really cool lighting systems like Unreal provides. The light actually plays like a lot bigger factor inside of Sandstorm than it did in previous games. You can see it kind of the background too. You do get stuff like a lens flare. Like certain maps are like you don't want to stare at the sun, and like shadows can play as well. So it'll be interesting. It'll be lots of variety in terms of maps. Please workshop support. Yeah, we are planning on supporting workshop. Not sure what that full support looks like in terms of launch, but obviously we have a modding background, and it's really important to us to get modding into the game. So workshop support, ability to edit levels, and all the tools that we have, we're still trying to decide when they get in, but we're hoping to get as much of it in for launch as possible. Vehicle easily destroyed by small arms fire, or do we require explosives, and can they be damaged by small arms? Is there a realistic damage model for that too? If you shoot an engine, does it lose speed, etc.? That's something that at least vehicles and damage and that sort of stuff is something that they are putting in the game quite recently, so still something that we're balancing and testing. I believe small arms fire should be able to set off a vehicle. Obviously you're still going through balance whether or not that's just drivable vehicles or vehicles that are placed around the map, something that we're balancing out and testing out. So we have the ability to do anything we want. It's just what ends up happening at a gameplay test, and we kind of balance and change functionality based on that testing. Sandstorm bots on par with Insurgency, better or worse, with things like flanking, suppressive fire, RPG spam, etc. So far, at least in the tests I've done, they're pretty similar. But there's also some things that we do on co-op maps right now that make it seem harder in a way. Whenever we've done co-op tests, so far it's some of the ones are really hard to beat and they're really insane. But obviously we're still refining AI for launch, so I'd have to get back to you on how good the AI is going to end up being by the time we end up launching. Let's see. Will there be more voice variation for Sandstorm? So we're in the process right now of getting our voice actors and that sort of thing onboarded. There will be a bunch, definitely more than original Insurgency that had the number of voice actors, as you know, it was very low. But yeah, we're hoping to have a lot more variety this time, and hopefully some old favorites coming back. Will modding be as free to use on official servers as in Insurgency? It feels a little weird when you can mod it to the point of having a big advantage with changing the iron sights and so forth. We always put restrictions on official servers and what you can and can't do. So have to make some guidelines for that, because obviously the functionality inside of Sandstorm is different from that of Insurgency or Day of Infamy. But yeah, we're still finalizing exactly what we're doing in all of our rules for modding. How many maps? I can't say yet. What kind of post-release content can we expect? Well, usually what ends up happening with games that release on console is that they go back in and they add content after the fact for kind of like a day one patch thing, so you never know that whether or not it was in the game, simply because there is like a submission cycle when your game also goes on console, so we have to kind of finalize the game at a point and then add pieces later. So we're hopefully going to try to add some of the stuff that we said that are not going to be for launch, but we've supported our games with a variety of stuff, from new weapons, new skins, models, voices, maps, lots of maps, and like you name it. If there's game modes that we want to add and we see that there's a need for it, we could add those. It's just we're gonna base those priorities based on what our community feedback is at the time. Sinjar 2.0, or at least the upper part of the map. So we're not recreating maps inside of Sandstorm. We're not looking to do the exact same thing we did like over again with a new coat of paint. How Sandstorm functions is a bit different from how Insurgency functions, and we want to create maps that allow vehicles to get through and allow us to do stuff like air support, so and to make things bigger as well when we're doing stuff like 16-on-16 battles. I know we have it inside of Insurgency right now, but it's important to get that stuff right in for it to feel right. But yeah, in terms of like recreating old maps, it's not something that we're looking at doing. That you will see influences of older maps inside of the new maps, like certain specific areas, but other than that, they're entirely new. UI is fast and easy to operate as it is in Insurgency. We hope so. We do have to like make it so that it's available to be used on a controller as well, because it's a cross-platform game. But we do want you to be able to quickly scroll, find a server, find a game mode, and play. Some of the stuff will make it a bit easier too, like even like the matchmaking for Firefight. That's a lot of steps, like not finding a server, just hitting a button and just getting matched, and then jumping in a game. That'll make that part of using the game easier as well. The way you guys at New World have supported your games, the community is honestly some of the best I've ever seen. Other developers and publishers should take notes. Yeah, it's a really different model. Selling the game, supporting it for a long time for Insurgency. That was about like released 4 years ago. Pretty much supported it for 3 straight years with new content, new patches, that sort of thing. Day of Infamy, we just rolled over 1 year, and we released, I don't even remember how many updates, 4 or 5 free content updates, a huge amount of new maps. It's been a constant stream of development, and like it just never stops. So I don't think that is something that we're looking to change for Sandstorm. We constantly want to give people new content so they continue to play our game. Crossplay for co-op servers. We're not looking at supporting crossplay right now. It takes a little bit to support, and yeah, it's kind of a weird function thing. I know it's easier for games to support it now, but it's not something that we're looking to support, at least for launch. Are the security forces and the Insurgents the only factions available for multiplayer? Yes. We still want to keep that like 2-faction dynamic. It would be weird having a third faction. Like, what would you do? Like a three-way map or that sort of thing? We want to make sure that it's like we balance it and we have the game mode available and working correctly for 2 sides. It's pretty standard for most sports or games or that sort of thing to have 2 specific sides. Some have 4, some have 8, but 2 is pretty standard. How will optimization be for AMD users with Sandstorm since you use the Unreal Engine? Should be the same as NVIDIA. We constantly try to invite people with specific hardware setups to get their feedback, and then try to optimize the game as much as possible. And Unreal is a really good cross-platform, not just for different video cards, but also for different platforms like PlayStation and Xbox and that sort of thing. Okay, so I think we got through a lot of questions. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream this week. Reminder once again, Day of Infamy stream next week on Friday. We'll be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of Day of Infamy, and yeah, excited to get back in there and play, and excited to reminisce a little bit about show off some older some older Dave Infamy content and that sort of thing. Going to be talking to the developers this week to try to get some of the older like plans and screenshots and bugs that we had in early testing to show you guys. But want to thank you guys for joining this week. If you have any questions, you can leave them on the YouTube video, and I'll try to answer as many as possible. But thanks everybody for joining us, and we will see you guys next time.